Burns, Mike Wallace, Mark Garrow, and Barry Dodson with you. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Mike Wallace, they'll line up by points. Qualifying was rained out, so for the third time, Jack Sprague starts from the pole.
Well, you can't beat that pole position. It's pretty easy to get a lap, but right now the guys are all getting geared up. You're talking to your spotter up top, making sure you got good radio communication. He's telling you, pull on those seatbelts, get ready, brother. You're going to have a good run here, you know. So they're pulling on, getting the tires warmed up, everything's about ready to go racing.
And what's the driver thinking right now? Are you excited? Are you calm? Are you focused? What are you thinking about, Mike?
I'll be honest with you. This is probably about one of the calmest points. Once those motors fire for a driver, that's a very calm moment. It's like, okay, I've done everything I can over the weekend. I've did the best qualifying, the best practice. It's up to the team now and my ability once the green flag drops. You just want to make sure you get a good start. Get a little heat in the tires right now. Make sure you got good spotter communications, that he can hear you all the way around the racetrack. You can hear him, and ready to go racing.
Mike, walking around the garage area this morning, everybody was ready to hand the trophy to Jason Keller because he was extremely fast in practice, but it's not going to be that easy.
Well, it's not going to be that easy. And why they're handing the trophy to Jason Keller already, we got to go to Scott Riggs and to Bobby Hamilton. And Randy LaJoyla alluded to it at the start of the race. Robert Yates horsepower. Robert and Doug Yates are working very hard on these Busch Grand National cars to make big horsepower. And when they go fast down the straightaway, they don't have to handle all that great in the corner.
That's right. Jason Keller says that horsepower helps you handle down the straightaway.
Yeah, without a doubt, but you still got to count that pit crew when you roll down pit road. And this racetrack has got a unique pit road to it. It's a long inner loop. You know, as you see, we're coming up on it. As you enter turn 4, you got to roll into the pit area there at the start of the race. So a lot to be won or lost on pit road.
43 cars starting. Mike, as we said, 200 laps, 200 miles. Let's talk about the pit window a bit.
Well, the pit window, they're saying 100 to 110 laps. But what you're going to see at this racetrack is everybody's probably going to go try to do a one-stop race here because track position is so important that they're just going to get that one pit stop, go out, try to lead it from there.
Well, Barry Dodson has more on strategy. What about it, Barry?
Yeah, this is a racetrack where you want to make one stop if you can. Like Mike Wallace said, pit window 100 to 110, maybe 115 for the Dodge of Hank Parker Jr. We know that car gets great mileage. What I would do, if it gets anywhere in that area, I'm pitting one time and I'm not coming back in, buddy. Back to the tower.
Well, that puts a lot of pressure. If you've only got one stop, a lot of pressure on that crew to make adjustments to that race car. And on the other side of the coin, the driver has to hang on for 100 laps.
Well, about lap 50 or 60, you're hollering saying, how about now, tires? And they're going, hang on, track position, so important. And these crews, it's time to show. You know, you can win or lose a race off of pit road, and the good crews are going to come to the top, especially if for some way, and it has happened here in the past, you got to have a green flag pit stop.
Mike, taking a look at the weather, it's hard to believe we're towards the end of May, and it's only 51 degrees. Any impact on the racetrack or the tires?
Well, right now is the crucial time to get heat in the tires. Phenomenal race conditions. You know, feel a little sorry for the fans sitting in the grandstands because the wind's blowing just a little cool up here. But, you know, they get the heat in the tires, they're good to go racing.
Well, Mike, the lights are off top of the pace car. It's time to cut it loose. Enough of this talking. Let's race.
It's getting ready to happen. Everybody, it's all getting ready to get settled right here in just a minute.
Jack Sprague on the front row. Pace car off. Starter telling him to hold on. Green flag is in the air, Mike.
It's hammer down. Time to go racing now. Jack Sprague down into turn 1.
Sprague got a great jump in front of Jason Keller, followed by Randy LaJoy, Scott Riggs, and Mike McLaughlin in the 18.
What you're going to see is these guys are going to all try to get kind of single file, get to the bottom of the racetrack. That's the preferred groove here at Nazareth. You won't see much side-by-side racing the first few laps. Kenny Wallace hungs it outside there in the 48 car. 3 wide off of turn 5.
Jason Keller battling with Jack Sprague. And Jason Keller makes the pass.
And we got the 96 car up in turn 5 wall on the outside. 1 lap in the race.
Gus Wasson in the 96 car.
That's what you call, Steve, not a good start to the day.
No, all that preparation. And Gus Wasson in the 96. Hard to tell how much damage he does have. Let's take a look at this incident in progress, Mike Wallace.
Well, we caught it a little bit. It appears that he's already turned around at that point, so I don't know if we can get anything back before that, but the car was turned around, getting down into turn 4 there, and could have been a brake situation. Get hard under brakes, trying to get slowed down, didn't have enough heat, wheel chattered a little bit, got the car turned around.
You know, Jason Keller said at the beginning of this season, Mike, you know, he's won 8 races in this series, but he wants to win that championship. He's desperate to do it. Feels like this is his best opportunity to do so.
Well, it definitely is. And you want to win races, but you want to have that title of championship. You want to look at it and say, I was the Busch Grand National champion, or I am the Busch Grand National champion.
All right, pace car is off. Jason Keller will lead the field to the green flag, and we're underway.
Intensity. Everybody's trying to make a move, even though we've had just a few laps in the race. Everybody wants to get going, try to pass the car in the restart. It's a lot easier to pass cars right now than after we get 3 or 4 laps on.
Jack Sprague rides second. That 7 car you see. Randy LaJoy is third. Scott Riggs fourth. Mike McLaughlin fifth. Greg Biffle 6th, Jay Sauter 7th in the 21 car. He's sharing that ride this year with Jeff Green.
That was a perfect, good camera view from Jason Keller's car to show how good he was getting off the corner, and a little bit he could pull away from Jack Sprague, and a pass by Mike McLaughlin on Scott Riggs, and Greg Biffle getting underneath on the muscle.
You know, the PPC racing team came up here to test Mike, and they put Jason Keller in Scott's car because Scott wasn't as comfortable here. That's how teamwork, teammates can help.
Well, that's the way all teams should operate. If you got 2 cars, utilize them to their fullest. And get your drivers that they can drive the same setup. That's the big thing. Make them both learn how to drive each other's cars.
The 21, Jay Sauter. He's followed by the 59 of Stacy Compton.
Right now, it's kind of like, okay, we're relaxed. Jason Keller jumped out to the lead. Spotters tell him, hey, no pressure, take it easy, run some good, consistent line, take care of those tires. They want to get to that lap through that pit window, 100, 110. They can make this a one-stop race. Jason Keller's running easy, and along with Randy LaJoy and Jack Sprague are running hard.
Hey, Mike Wallace, Jason Keller said that when he learned how to run this track well is when he said, you know what? I'm just going to race it like it's a go-kart. I'm just going to have fun.
Well, that's what you got to do. Tracks like this are very unique because they are such a challenge. You will never hit the perfect setup in every corner, chassis-wise here.
There you go, Boyd, the 14 off the pace. Caution is out on lap 10 for the 2nd time today.
Looks like Larry must have a right front tire down or something. He's rolling around real slow, trying to get to pit road. He's already passed the entrance to pit road. And they'll probably do the voodoo here, and that's cut across the grass. Looks like he had a little help by Ricky Hendrick there, and looks like it was going to be serious, but it ended up being not too bad after all.
Got it slowed down before he got into the wall. Still damage to the right side of that 14 of Larry Boyd. Replay seemed to indicate Ricky Hendrick gave him a little bit of help. Still under caution for the 2nd time today, Jason Keller. Mike, he's never won here, but he has 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s and 8 starts.
Well, you know, Jason's got a lot of time around this racetrack, but he's got, his boys say, Big Mo on his side, momentum right now. He's got a great race team. He's won 3 races this year. What he's wanting to see right now, he wants this thing to quit being under yellow, and he just wants to race. You know, you get going, you get 5, 10 laps under you, and then caution comes out, and we need some green flag racing. It looks like we're going to get ready to go here in 1 to go, and get back and see what they got for him.
And you know, Mike, you talked about that Robert Yates horsepower under the hood of the 57, but Jason said the biggest adjustment that he's made this year is his attitude. You know, that he feels like he can win, and if he goes to a track where he hasn't been real competitive, he doesn't let it get him down. He still feels like he can be competitive.
Well, what he's got is security. His team is behind him. They know he can win races. He's not in fear of losing his ride. He doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. They know he's a race winner. He's got a good team, good horsepower, good combination. He's probably a better driver this year than he ever has been because he has that confidence. He's relaxed. You cannot, as a driver, make a race car do something that's not going to be allowed to do. And there's Bobby Hamilton, slowed down. Something's happened to him on the back straightaway there. I don't know if he has some side of penalty here.
Yep, I believe he's being penalized. He'll have to start from the rear of the field. So tough break for Bobby. But we've seen Bobby Hamilton. He can overcome obstacles. He had 2 bad pit stops last week. Charges right back through the field.
Well, they always say Bobby Hamilton's built like a little bulldog. When he gets behind, he looks like a bulldog coming to the front also.
Pace car's off. Jason Keller leads him down into turn 1.
And we're back to single file racing, and they're going to run that way for a while until they can get all sorted out here. But back in the middle of the pack is where the dicing gets started up. We've got a turn.
Trouble, Jack Sprague.
And this what happened on turn 3. The corner closes up so much, and you're seeing wrecks up behind it and everything else, that once it gets shuffled up and closed, you have nowhere to go.
Several cars damaged in that mishap.
Steve, they're not listening to us. We're telling them
No.
to calm down, have some patience, you know, but it's unfortunate there.
See the 52 car, Brad T, caution on lap 19. Already 3 cautions here today. We saw Jack Sprague go around. Let's take a look at the replays, Mike, see if we can find out what happened.
It's pretty simple right here. It appears the 18 car, Mike McLaughlin, best I can tell, got back Jack Sprague. Again, Jack is very lucky, though. It appears he just spun without hitting anything. The big wrecks are starting behind Jack. He's slow. The field's coming up behind him. They're stacking up, and spotters hollering wreck, and you're trying to gain spots.
Sprague goes around there in the 24. There's McLaughlin behind him. The 60 behind McLaughlin. And the 27, Jamie McMurray goes around.
And then at the very top of the picture, we're going to end up seeing somebody up here in the corner. It looks like Ricky Hendrick from a distance.
Let's take a view from Mike McLaughlin. Let's see. This should tell the tale, Mike.
Well, he's trying to tell Jack, I'm on the gas before you are, and you need to get going. I'm making a joke about that there, but
right.
what happens is he was able to get on the gas just a little quicker than Jack, and just got together. Nothing intentional, just racing.
Let's go to Mark Garrow.
Jack Sprague has brought in the Net Zero Chevrolet. They're going to change all 4 tires, of course, because he flat spotted those. There's a little bit of damage on the nose right now. They took a look at that, don't seem to be all that concerned about it. So now we have a crewman down at the front of that car trying to fix that nose piece. They'll put a little bit of tape on it, and so they've changed the 4 tires. After the adjustment to the nose, they'll send Jack Sprague back out onto the racetrack.
What they're working on right there in this area, they call it the valence area, and that's for downforce. On a flat racetrack, you can see them putting tape right in this area, trying to repair the damage that had happened on the car, and it's real important for downforce. And a flat racetrack like this, you need the car to turn as well as you can.
Welcome back to Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Steve Burns, Mike Wallace, Mark Garrow, Barry Dodson with you. 5-car Ricky Hendrick has been to pit road for service, and so has Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25. Green flag in the air. Jason Keller leads. Randy LaJoy, Mike McLaughlin, Biffle, Riggs, and Jay Sauter.
These guys are just wanting to get back to racing again here. We've had all our incidents in the first lap or on the restarts, and they're all just going to try to get single file down off of turn 3 down that long back straightaway. You can see Biffle in there behind McLaughlin just roll right around the bottom of the corner, accelerating up off of it. Nice single file line through everybody, racing back in the middle of the pack a little bit.
And Mike, the 25 car just have gotten word he was not penalized. His seat belt had come undone. He had to come down pit road and get everything rebuckled.
Well, that's definitely something you don't want happening with all the safety issues. As they did come down pit road also, they made a chassis adjustment, took some bite out of that car. He's at the back. Must have felt the car was a little tight, but the way all the restraints and everything in the cars are now, it's really easy to grab one of them seat belts and get them loose. And good Bobby got hooked up, got it going, and now he's behind Ricky Hendrick.
Meanwhile, Greg Biffle, look at him pull up underneath the 18, Mike McLaughlin.
We'll call him battering him Biffle.
He's not afraid to let the rough side drag.
No, Greg, I raced against him a lot in the truck series. He's a great racer, and he races every lap the same, wide open. So if you're there and he kind of needs to root you, no problem. But he doesn't mind getting it back either. That's the nice part about it.
Last year he won here at Nazareth in a Craftsman truck and the Busch Series car.
I think last year when he won the truck series, Roush was having a little problem getting their truck program going. Biff will come up, dominated the race, and come back with his Busch car and did the same thing.
Check in now with Barry Dodson. Barry.
Yeah, Ron Hornaday missed the restart, is up to 14th right now. That's one way he's doing it. He got 3 on the first caution, got a couple more this time, but his car is very, very good. He told me he didn't know how it would be, but it's an 1.5 inch drop. He told me what he had in it for front spring, and I like it. He's moving up. Back to Steve.
Hey, great. Now let's talk about that drop snout that Barry referred to. Jason Keller has the same kind of race car. What does that mean?
What that means when they say 1.5 inch drop, all the pickup points in the front suspension are moved down 1.5 inches below what we call a standard height car. There's a number. They've taken literally and just changed the front clip. And a drop snout car works really good on flat racetracks. It's not a good car for high bank, high speed places. A place like here at Nazareth, Loudon last week, a lot of drop snout cars going on there.
And so, Mike, with that snout lower, does it help the car cut, turn?
What it does, it helps it cut a lot quicker. Some guys love them, some guys hate them. There's very few in between. And what it is, sometimes you can get them cutting so good that they're always loose. And the guys like a Jason Keller or Ron Hornaday right now got them figured out where they're neutrally going in, cutting really good. And when we mean cutting, we're just saying it's catching the front wheels are turning really good right in the middle of the corner.
Jason Keller's having a lot of fun here in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. He's led every single lap, 25 cars on the lead lap.
Jason Keller's having a great day, but he's getting ready to make Scott Wimmer's day really bad. He's getting ready to try to put a lap on him here, and that's what happens when you get a car that's really hooked up early in a race and other cars behind you aren't. He'll put a lap on half the field really quick.
Let's check in now with Barry Dodson.
You know, Jason's dominated every lap, guys, but believe it or not, he's not that happy with the car. It's a little bit tight in the center, a little bit loose off, and what I'm hearing up and down pit road, most of these guys are tight all the way around, and you got 5 corners to make that engine grunt no matter how much horsepower you got, and it's burning fuel. What that's doing is backing the pit window up closer to 90 laps. If this continues, it'll be difficult to make it a 1-lap stop. Let's go back to Steve and Mike. Take it away, guys.
Well, he just said it. It went from a 1-stop race to a 2-stop race.
Well, without a doubt, you know, that blows all the strategy. If they do stop before lap 100, that means they're going to have to stop again, most likely, unless they're really good in the second half of the race. And, you know, Jason Keller's setting the pace. Nobody's going to pit until he does, unless they start lapping him. If you start getting up in the middle of the field and start lapping the 20th place car, they're going to start peeling off, hoping for tires. Hopefully they can run a second or so a lap faster than Jason is at that point.
Now, Barry Dodson just said that Jason Keller's not completely happy with his car. Are you ever happy with a race car, Mike Wallace? Last year at Phoenix, I thought you were going to win. Were you happy with that race car?
Well, you know, you say you're happy to the point until somebody drives up on your rear bumper or they're driving away from you. I mean, there's guys out there right now that are saying, hey, my car is fine. The only problem is Jason Keller is finer.
Yes.
You know, so they're just doing the best they can. And, you know, it's frustrating sometimes from a driver's standpoint. You're out there driving your butt off. I mean, you're really driving hard. And the leader driving away from you. And you'll talk to the leader after the race, the guy who won the race, says, oh, man, my car drove perfect. I drove easy all day long. And when you have good race cars, they're easier to drive. Jason Keller's having an easier day of it right now than guys from 10th on back are.
That's right.
And you can see Jason coming up on the 63 car in the 77 to put them a lap down right at the moment.
Shane Hall in the 63. Jimmy Kitchen's in the 77.
Shane Hall's hoping there's a caution, hoping he's not going to be it.
Greg Biffle in the 60.
Well, the one thing about
second.
Biffle, he's definitely closed up on Jason Keller. They got closed up there on traffic a little bit, give him some opening, and you can see him right just through the window there. Yep. He's right on top of him now.
Here comes Jason Keller past Jamie McMurray. That's for 5th position. Makes the pass.
Keller's on a mission. He got to be a slow pit stop there. He wanted to come in lead and go out. He's been struggling through traffic, and he wants to get out in that clear air. The one thing about it, even though this is not a speedway, the air on the front of these cars, the aerodynamics is important. You can get out and your car will run faster out by itself because it puts more downforce on the nose, lets the car turn better than what it is up behind traffic. Seeing Jason Keller just kind of dominate. He's coming up behind Kenny Wallace's Gould Pump Stacker 2 car right now. Car's turning good up off the bottom, but he can't turn as well as he was earlier.
Pulls up behind Wallace.
I think that said, uh-oh, I'm coming through.
And he makes the pass. That was for 4th.
Kenny was smart enough just to let him go. Otherwise, there could have been a stacker in the corner.
Oh, my goodness. Mike Wallace.
That was my one-liner for the day.
That's pretty good. Oh. There's Kenny Wallace in the 48 car.
Kenny's
right
having a good solid run, had a really good pit stop when they come in. Currently fifth, started sixth. Car's just kind of been stable, been watching him throughout the run. They'll have one more pit stop, you know, to make an adjustment to get the car better here.
Looking out from the bumper of Kenny Wallace's car, Jamie McMurray pulls up.
You can see all the tape, the little yellow stripes on the front of that. If we get closer there, we'll see what that allows the pit crew to do. If they want to make some chassis adjustments, you can pull the tape off the grill. And you see that tape right there, right there. What that's telling the guys, as soon as they come in on a quick stop, they'll just grab that. They've made those as tear tabs. They're sticking up, and you can just grab them, pull them off real quick.
Yeah, Mike, I've seen teams make those out of tie wraps, duct tape, and they number them even.
Yeah, the 1, 2, 3 normally, and it's been in situations, been involved with the team I was with at the end of last year, the Mobile One team, that they actually made hooks on them with a long rod. They could reach over the wall. It wouldn't take an extra guy. They could just pull the tape off the grill without using an extra man to do it.
Boy, Hank Parker Jr., he wants some of that Jamie McMurray action.
Yeah, and Kenny's going, please, race him. Just give me a little break. Let me get out here and ride a little bit. This time of the race, you just want to be able to log some laps. You know, you don't want to have to really race anybody that hard. I mean, you do, but it's like after seeing all the cautions, guys getting turned around, it's just like, let's ride for a while. Let's get a good race going.
Murray was 6th. Hank Parker Jr. 7th. Kenny Wallace, you see ahead of them in the 48 car. He's 5th. Meanwhile, Randy LaJoie back out front. There's a familiar sight. Jason Keller at the head of the field. Stacker to 200 here in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. 81 laps to go. Todd Bodine in the 92. He's been struggling today, Mike.
He's having a bad day. He's wishing this race would be over right now. They could load up and go home. Honestly, it sounds weird to say you're hoping the motor blows up or something, but it won't. It'll keep running all day long. But what I mean by that, there's some ill handling effects in that car right now. It's just not running well. You can see he's better than 13 mile an hour off the leader in lap speeds.
We've got quite a battle here. 4th position, Mike McLaughlin has it, but Hank Parker Jr. wants it, and Ashton Lewis in the 46, behind them, and Greg Biffle in the 60. Let's go to Mark Garrow.
His crew chief, Gary Cogswell, just wheeled around, took a look at the Hank Parker Jr. GNC Livewell Chevrolet. You like what you see. Hank Parker doesn't necessarily like what he feels right now on the brake pedal.
Well, Hank's saying the brake pedal's a little soft, not as good as it was earlier in the race. I got to make a little correction here. It's a GNC Dodge, not a Chevrolet.
I'm sorry, that was last year, right?
That's right. I want to make sure we give Dodge people all the credit they deserve. They make a great race car. Hank's doing a great job here, and he's smart enough to know when he's got to take it easy, and I'm sure he will for the rest of the race.
Well, there we are inside Ashton Lewis's car up behind Greg Biffle right now, and Greg got by him just a second ago. And what he was talking about Hank Parker also, about being cautious. He worked pretty hard on getting underneath Mike McLaughlin. Probably worked the brake pedal very hard. There he does go by Mike McLaughlin. But he'll get out there, ride, let the brakes cool down a little bit, and probably that pedal will come back to him. You can hear Mike McLaughlin's having a little struggle getting off the corner. He's backpedaling a little bit. You know, the car's just not exactly the way he wants it to be.
Mike McLaughlin driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Biffle goes by the 18. Ashton Lewis, he wants a piece of Mike McLaughlin.
Yeah, Mike's just kind of struggling to hang on. Right at this time of the day, he's probably best just kind of let these guys go a little bit. You see inside Ashton Lewis's car, and Todd Bodine, you can tell the car looks like it's down on the left front. Must have a flat left front tire. You can see the valence dragging across the ground right in that area. And he's working his way very slowly to pit road and coming in for a stop.
His day just went from bad to worse. Jason Keller out front here at Nazareth. He's led 118 laps. Randy LaJoie rides second. Greg Biffle is third. Scott Riggs is fourth. Ashton Lewis Jr. is fifth. Greg Biffle is, by what we've seen, maybe the fastest car on the racetrack.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, he had that penalty early in the race where the tire came loose on pit road. They put him in the back of the field, and he has steadily just continues to march his way to the front, currently in third position, right up on the back of Randy LaJoie.
Lap car, the 94 of Jason White, in the way, but Biffle dispatches him.
Yeah, it's getting to the time of the race right now. You know, we have one more pit stop for most everybody coming up in some laps from now, and but Biffle's trying to get by LaJoie, get up as close as he can to Keller, and because depending on the pit stop. So it's going to be interesting. Got to start playing a little pit strategy here.
Yeah.
2 tires, 4 tires. You know, you're going to see some of the guys that are 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on back go for 2 tires only, trying to gain that track position.
And Biffle gets by LaJoie. Casey Mears in the 66 car. He's a lap down. You know, we're not ready to hand the trophy to Jason Keller yet, but he's got a chance to break the record for most laps led here in a Busch race. That record was set. And here comes Jason Keller to pit road. Pay it off. The record was set for most laps in 1991. Chuck Bound led 137. Mike Wallace finished 6th.
That's not a bad day there. Jason Keller's on pit road. It appears like it's a routine pit stop. Didn't come to pit road slow. Cruise over the walls. Tires getting changed. And, you know, they probably pitted just a hair quicker than we thought they were going to. Having some trouble on the right front there. This is costly. When you got a right front, you know, or a right rear, anything under green is bad. Barry Dotson might elaborate on that a little bit more.
2 tires. They'd already had a slow stop, trying to get 4. All they needed to do, back position. They got him. It was a slow stop. He was about 7, 8 laps early, but they wanted to get in, get out before anybody else knew what their hand was going to be.
Well, what they did, Barry, they set the tone for everybody. I assume you're going to see mostly all 2-tire stops from here on out because they just watched the leader. Nobody can give up an additional 8 to 10 seconds. Along with Randy LaJoie rolling down pit road in his stall right now. Spargaro.
A little bit of a traffic jam. LaJoie almost clipped Kenny Wallace's car as he came in. Wallace going out. They'll make a slight adjustment to LaJoie's car. 1 pound of pressure out of the right front. He's finding a little bit of a tight finish. They hope that's the right adjustment. He's down and away. A very quick stop for the Kleenex crew.
Well, there's the scenario totally changed. We've seen Jason Keller have a little bit of a bad pit stop, but only put on 2 tires. Randy LaJoie just put on 4 tires with a good stop. So it may play out in the end. The 4 tires might be better for him.
Greg Biffle in the 60 inherits the lead. Won this race a year ago. Mike McLaughlin on pit road in the 18. Stacy Compton in the 59 also coming to the attention. McLaughlin right side tires going off for that car. So 2 or 4 here.
2-tire stop only. The only car I've seen on pit road so far is Randy LaJoie. They had a lot of confidence in their pit crew that they were going to roll off a good stop, and had seen what Jason Keller did and said, hey, we're going to go for 4. We think we can beat them on 4 tires instead of 2. So we'll have to wait and see if it pays off. Now, if by some great chance a caution would come out, Randy LaJoie is sitting in the catbird seat. You know, because he's got 4 fresh tires. Everybody else got 2. Greg Biffle rolling down pit road right now. Uniqueness about Nazareth, got a long access road all the way to pit road. You can speed, you know, really sail pretty quick through there until that point we just passed there, and that's the indicator for pit road speed.
Let's go to Barry Dotson.
Greg Biffle's coming in. We're going to see what he's going to do. He's got the right front damage. Right side's going up. First can of fuel's in. And it's going to be 2 tires, buddy. They don't need to wait on that fuel, boys. Go. Go, go, go. They waited to get the second can poked in. No way. They gave up a lot of time there and pretty much equalized the pit stop between he and Jason. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, good point, Barry. 36, Hank Parker Jr., also on pit road.
Well, that was a crew chief and Barry coming out, realizing
exactly.
they needed to get that car going. He was trying to call that stop for him. The guys wouldn't listen to him, and they could put 4 on about the time they put that other can of gas in.
2 tires for the 60, 4 tires for the 7. Randy LaJoie, 2 tires for the 57. Hank Parker Jr. also 2 tires. You can see that stop a lot quicker than the 60.
Well, without a doubt. You know, they, as Barry alluded to, they didn't need all that gas. We've only got, you know, 33 laps of racing left here, and 1 can of gas would have done it. But a little miscue probably with somebody there, but I'm sure Randy Goss is down there talking to the 60 group right now.
Scott Riggs is the leader, but he's headed to pit road. Let's check in with our crew chief, Barry Dodson.
Okay, I'm waiting for him. Here he comes, boys. Pit road speed. Caution's out. Caution's out. They'll probably send him on. Don't do it, boys. Too late. It'll be right side tires, and he's going to get gone. 1 round of wedge out.
And looks like Greg Biffle's been caught up.
Okay, back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Barry. Documenting the pit stop, right side tires of the tank car. Greg Biffle. Heavy impact, I believe, with the 37 of Jeff Purvis. Caution out on lap 168. 7th time today. Yep, that's the 37 of Jeff Purvis.
Really hard hit between Jeff Purvis and Greg Biffle over there. Right in turn 2, between turn 2 and 3 underneath that walkover bridge. And those guys took a really hard lick.
We are watching the pit stop for Scott Riggs. Let's take a look and see what happened, Mike Wallace.
See Biffle. The wreck has already happened. Well, you can see what happened. Jeff Purvis appears that he's lost a motor and got oil all down. And severe wreck. I hope you know, that was a hard hit right in the door. But as we've seen the oil net coming out from underneath Jeff's car, what happened? There was oil on the racetrack. Biffle couldn't turn the thing and just hit him. I mean,
let's listen from Greg Biffle's cockpit. On board with Greg Biffle.
You know, you can finally see Greg starting to move his hands around a little bit inside the car, which is good. The window net's not down, but we are seeing some movement inside the car. And look how hard this car is hit. It's literally moved the roof apart up here in the roof in this area. That is that's a tremendous hit.
Just an awful sounding impact when the 60 hit the 37 of Jeff Purvis.
He was just it's an unfortunate situation, Steve. What happens when you get in that oil, it doesn't matter what you do. The tires just will not grip. You could hear him try to get the car sideways, literally squalling the tires, but the speed was there already and there was nothing he could do about it.
But we see Greg Biffle has taken his helmet off. He's moving around in the 60 car. Welcome back to the Nazareth Speedway. We're under what looks like a red flag condition. Car stopped on the backstretch so that track rescue workers can attend to Jeff Purvis. He was involved in a hard accident with Greg Biffle on lap 168. Randy LaJoy was on pit road. Did not beat the leader back to the start-finish line. He'll go to the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, I think they're working on the scoring situation right now in regards to what happened with Randy LaJoy. First, they had him a lap ahead of the whole field, then a lap behind the field, and with all the pit stops that were going on under green flag, then this red flag situation is taking place. It'd probably take a few laps for him to get everything sorted out here. So we believe Randy's still on the lead lap. We're just not sure if he's leading the race or, you know, he's at the front of the field right now. They had him held here at the start-finish line for a lap. So indications were from Barry Dodson is that he actually had somehow put a lap on the field, and they just got him back on the lead lap here. But we are in a red flag situation right now due to the incident between Jeff Purvis and Greg Biffle. And, you know, right now it's kind of a wait and see in regards to when this goes back. The only thing that Randy LaJoy has going for him over Jason Keller, he has 4 tires versus 2 tires.
A red flag lasted 21 minutes and 46 seconds. You see the cars back underway. Hoping to get our scoring sorted out. You heard Wally Rogers, the crew chief for Randy LaJoy, say he doesn't understand where he is, essentially.
Well, I can understand Wally's frustration sitting up here observing myself. I'm a little confused also because you looked at the cycle how it came down. Jason Keller had pitted, had a little bit of a slow stop. Randy LaJoy then pitted with about a 16-second 4-tire stop, and there's really no way that you could get yourself a lap down in that situation. But we'll have to see how all the scoring sorts out and how it works from there.
And Mike, let's reset. As we said, we had a red flag for 21 minutes and 46 seconds. 14 cars are off the racetrack. We've had 7 cautions for 42 laps. 12 cars on the lead lap. They're being shown 1 to go. Johnny Sauter is the last car on the lead lap. He's being shown in the 12th position. Jason Keller has led 3 times for 130 laps. Other leaders include Randy LaJoie, Jack Sprague, Greg Biffle, Scott Riggs, Ron Hornaday, and Jamie McMurray. Well, if they're being shown the 1 to go, then NASCAR must be
confused right now.
Well, I know I'm confused, but they must have their mind made up. The scoring is, and we'll give a quick reset on that. Jason Keller is the leader. Scott Riggs is second. Ron Hornaday being posted in 3rd position. Jamie McMurray 4th. The 25 of Bobby Hamilton, he's battled back. He's shown 5th. Tony Raines, the 33, is 6th. Randy LaJoie 7th. 36, Hank Parker Jr. is 8th. Ashton Lewis Jr. is 9th. And the 21 of Jay Sauter being listed as 10th.
What you're going to see happen here, Randy LaJoie, they're telling me the lap down. He's on the inside. He will race them to the ever-living end to get down into turn 1 ahead of everybody, along with Jay Sauter on the outside. One of them is going to jump the start. Hornaday's back there, who's a great restart master, and he's going for it.
20 laps to go. 20-lap shootout. Jason Keller still being posted as the leader. In the 57, 10 car, Scott Riggs, his teammate, being posted as second.
Keller up underneath Sauter there, along with Riggs trying to follow him through right now with Ron Hornaday right behind Scott Riggs. So Hornaday, and know him driving as hard as he does all the time. He's going to be up there rooting on Riggs, basically up underneath them right now.
Mike said earlier, Ron Hornaday in his second race in the 26 car. The 92 car, Todd Bodine, is stopped on the front stretch, and the caution flag will fly for the 8th time today.
Now that's a huge break, Steve. You know, Randy LaJoie along with Jay Sauter and Ashton Lewis and all those guys have officially got their lap back if they were to be a lap down. The 2 car along with the other Sauter there, Mike McLaughlin. Big change right there for 6 guys just now.
Todd Bodine, as you see, got the car refired.
Now what we got to do is Kenny Wallace is going to be lining up on the inside of him. For my brother Kenny, I hope he gets his lap back here and get back into the race himself, because he was a top 10 car all day here.
Yep, Kenny is the first car a lap down, being listed as 13th.
What he needs to do is get ahead of Jason Keller and stack the field up behind him.
That's 4. That's 4 today.
Stack the field up. He'll get a caution. He'll drive back around, take that stacker 2 car right to the front.
Jason Keller is the leader, followed by his teammate Scott Riggs. Ron Hornaday in the 26 third. Jamie McMurray, great run for him. The 27 car is 4th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is 5th. Tony Raines is being posted in 6th. Randy LaJoie 7th. Ashton Lewis Jr. is 8th. Jay Sauter 9th. Johnny Sauter 10th. Hank Parker Jr. is 11th.
You do that awful well, you know that?
Yeah, but I'm still confused.
I am too. I still can't figure out how to get lap down. But we're coming back to green right now. Everybody's lined up, and it's going to be a great run to the end, along with Kenny Wallace on the inside trying to get his lead back from Jason Keller. Get back on the lead lap here.
Double file restart. Jason Keller with a great jump that time.
You can kind of see also in that picture when Kenny couldn't get Jason beat, he didn't race the rest of the guys down in the corner. He left them race for the win because that's how he wanted in his position.
Jason Keller trying to win his 9th NASCAR Busch Series win. Hank Parker Jr.'s in the wall in between turns 3 and 4. There he is in the 36. No caution flag, but Hank Parker Jr. has made contact with the wall. He's trying to get on pit road. Well, look at the right side of that race car.
And NASCAR is going to be real cautious. They're going to try not to throw the caution here because this race has been red flagged before, and they need to go ahead and get it over with. And he was good enough to get the car in. Once he got it against the wall, got it off and down pit road.
Jason Keller is your leader. His teammate Scott Riggs behind him. Hank Parker Jr. was listed as 12th, last car on the lead lap. Let's take a look and see what happened to Hank. Just behind there, he's already up to the wall. Don't know how he got there.
Well, you know, there's a little speculation early on that Hank was having brake problems.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly. Good
maybe
point.
the brake problem bit him finally, and got in the corner and got up against him. Jason Keller doing what he's been doing all day long. He's just leading this race and kind of pulling away from his teammate Scott Riggs at the moment. But Hornaday's hot after Riggs at the moment.
Led 139 laps.
I guess you call that domination, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, that's pretty strong form of it. You know, it's amazing how a guy can go through his career and for a long time not win any races, and all of a sudden get with the right organization, start winning a race here and there, and then this year now I believe it'll be like the 4th race he wins.
Jamie Murray talked about him a moment ago. He's in 4th, and Mark Garrow has more on him.
Stevie's having an outstanding run today. He's coming off 2 straight 9th place finishes. This team has really taken a step up this year. A year ago, he came to Nazareth 24th in points. This year, 11th again, coming off a pair of top 10 finishes. And, you know, Mike has been the king of the puns today. Well, Jamie McMurray driving a car nicknamed Godzilla. At the end of the day, he can go 8 over his finish.
Great one, Mark. I like that.
Oh, trouble again for Hank Parker Jr.
I think what Hank's doing is they put some tires on that thing. He tried to make an extra lap or two just to, you can see the toe in the cars out. The right front wheel right in that area is towed out 3 to 4 inches most likely. And that's caused because the steering arm has probably been a lower A-frame, folded the A-frame up underneath, and that's what's got the steering all turned out on. His day's over with. It's late in the run.
Jason Keller, trouble in turn 4.
That was Shane Meal spun, but kept going again, so it didn't get in the wall. Doesn't appear there's going to be a caution, and didn't hit anything.
Nope, no cautions. Back underway. Closing laps, 9 to go. Jason Keller, there he is in the 57. Made his first NASCAR Busch Series start in 1991 at Lanier. Down in Georgia, 266 starts today. And as we said, he wants to win this NASCAR Busch Series title for the first time.
Let me hear that. So when did he make his first Busch Series start?
1991 at Lanier Raceway in Georgia.
You want to know, here's something weird?
Yeah.
That's when I made my second Busch Grand National start, was at Lanier. My first one in 1991.
Do you remember where you finished?
3rd. Jeff Gordon won the race with David Green 2nd.
Wow.
Am I right? Is that it?
I don't know.
You don't have that. Yeah, I know. Because we've got a rain delay situation. That's unique. I didn't know that.
Jason Keller finished 29th.
29th. That's when that first race was some kid by the name of Gordon came around.
Exactly. Randy LaJoy in the 7th. He's 5th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. Man, he's battled from the back all day, Mike Wallace.
Well, they've had momentum on their side, and it just amazes me that car is running as well as it is because they were behind. They kept struggling, but he's going to come out of here fighting Randy LaJoy right now for a top 5, 6, and he's going to work on him hard.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. came in here 9th in points. Randy LaJoy is 3rd in points.
You know, I'd like to compliment Ed Renzi, or Team Renzi.
Yep.
We haven't elaborated on that any. Ed's been in the sport for a long time, invested a lot of money in it, and I'm glad to see his organization got their first win last week. My hat's off to it. Ed, congratulations. It's nice to see it. Not just winning, they just keep winning. They are running up front here.
Jason Keller 5 miles away from his 9th Busch Series win.
Jason Spotter, owner, crew chief's up there going, okay, buddy, just ride it on here. Your teammates behind you. We're going to bring home a 1-2 finish for PPC. If nothing happens, don't let anything happen. Just get us a great finish.
And PPC Racing teammates Jason Keller and Scott Riggs have won 5 of the 11 Busch Series races this year, trying to make it 6 today, 6 out of 12.
We had talked about the PPC group, and I was with Robert Yates the other morning, and he was really pumped up on the performance of that team. You know, they're working, him and Doug Yates are working really hard on the motors, as we mentioned early in the broadcast, to make good horsepower. Now they're winning races, and that means a lot to them.
Oh, what were you doing over at Robert Yates? Were you giving him one-liners and puns?
You just got to go talk, see what's going on.
Ha! You thought you were slipping that one by me, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't expect you to catch on. Actually, Robert was being very nice and giving us a shop tour of his new motor shop. it was kind of unique because they wouldn't let me in the 28 shop with the motor shop.
Okay. Mark Garrow. I'm sorry, Barry Dodson. Barry, what you got?
If the 57 car and the 10 car, now you guys are going to find this hard to believe. If they run 1-2, it'll be the first time in the history of PPC. They've won a lot of races between them, but this would be even a much sweeter win. All right, guys, back up top.
Wow, that's hard to believe, as good as those cars have been.
Yeah, you would think, I thought they must have been a first and a third or something, but 1-2 finish, that's great for the morale of the organization. Hopefully, the team sponsors step up for a little performance bonus to the team, you know. Guys on pit road will like that.
White flag in the air, 1 mile for Jason Keller. Score is 9th NASCAR Busch Series win.
So the one thing we're seeing happening here is that the fastest car of the day appears to win the race. So we just got to get through 2 more corners here as he's coming off of turn 5 right now for the checkered flag.
And Jason Keller takes the checkered flags and wins the Stacker 200 here in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Along with Scott Riggs behind him, and Ron Hornaday and Jamie Murray, followed up by Randy LaJoy.
And Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25 car.
See, those guys have won too much this year. They're not excited enough.
They're not as excited.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be throwing water and jumping off top of each other. And
teammates, congratulations.
look at Barry down in the middle of it. Go ahead, act like a crew chief, Barry. Jump on somebody.
Jason Keller is victorious for the 4th time in the 2002 season, winning at Rockingham, Talladega, Richmond, and now Nazareth. Mark Garrow is in victory lane with him.
Well, right now, I tried to explain to these guys we have another race to do, but they still dunk me. And now it is a beer Gatorade mosh pit for Jason Keller. Jason, your wife Deborah, Joe, and Jade, your 2 kids, barely got out of the way of that deal. Let's bring them to the picture. Look, for a guy who only won 2 races, the most ever in a single season, to have knocked off 4 this early, how does it feel?
Well, it just feels great, and I always tell Joe and Jade and Deborah, you know, hello from Victory Lane, but they're here with me, and just awesome. Just had a great race car. Just entire Albertson's team, we had a little bit of miscue on that first stop, but just fantastic. I really felt yesterday we had the car to beat, and I know you said before the show.
You were the man.
We
You
were
didn't
the
believe
man,
it.
and, it just, but sometimes the fast car don't win the race, so I think the fastest car won the race today.
Jason Keller winning for the 9th time in his career, 4th win this season. Here you see his teammate Scott Riggs right behind him. Tony Raines, last car to finish inside the top 10. Take a look at 11 through 20. Kerry Earnhardt 3 laps down in 20th. Troy Klein listed as 21st. Jack Sprague, tough day, 19 laps down. That's going to hurt in the points race. But he'll be back next week in Charlotte, as will Mike Wallace.
We will be there. It's awful fun being here today. Jason Keller, heck of a job to his whole race team. You guys have done a great job.
Great job to you, Mike Wallace. For Mike Wallace, Mark Garrow, Barry Dodson, and the entire Fox Sports Racing team, I'm Steve Burns, saying thanks for joining us. Continued thoughts and prayers to Jeff Purvis. We'll see y'all next week at Charlotte.